What's up, everyone? Welcome to Eyes Closed Home Edition with Can't Swim. Thanks, Chris, for hanging out in this virtual day and age. Whereabouts are you at right now?
I'm in Orlando, Florida, best known for his Walt Disney, Mickey Mouse, Goofy.
I mean, no longer. It's all shut down.
That's true. They must be just chilling in there, hanging out, not working.
It's awful.
Empty parks. Yeah.
Are you stuck at your parents' house then? Is that kind of what happened?
Yeah, so I was in Los Angeles working on some music when this all happened, and I was going to fly to New York. And by the time I decided to do that, JFK was not allowing flights in. And I was in Chicago on my layover, and they were just like, "Oh no, we're not going to New York anymore." And I was like, what do you expect me to do?" And then they were like, "Well, we have other flights." I was like, "But I live in New York." And then I was like, "Oh, I guess I'll fly to Orlando because Florida doesn't have any rules or standards." So I just flew down here. And now that was fucking 6 weeks, 7 weeks ago.
Um, Holiday feels over, I would say, probably at this point.
Yeah, I'm losing my mind. I mean, I lost it a couple of weeks ago, and
Yeah.
this is just my new reality now. I'm like the worst candidate to be locked in a cage, but getting by.
You look like you're in an actual cage. Like it's like a closet type of thing that
Yeah,
you got
the
going on.
space is limited.
Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Um let's talk a little bit about your new EP When the Dust Settles. I love how like vibey it is. Like I can't find another description that like fits it cuz it's just vibey. It's not just like an acoustic record. What made you pick that sort of direction rather than like really basic kind of acoustic?
So I think the original idea was maybe from Pure Noise. I'm not really sure how it all came about, and I think they threw that word acoustic around. Um, I wasn't crazy nuts about the idea, and then this quarantine happened. So I think I started working on it maybe like March 27th, 28th, and it only took about a week. And yeah, I don't know, when I sat down to acoustically do these songs, that's just what kind of came out. I had a friend, Kinsey, who's like this like disgustingly good musician. He plays for like the Jonas Brothers, Mary J. Blige. He sent over a piano arrangement for Stranger. I sang on it, and I sent it to Pure Noise. And I was like, "Hey, like I know you guys said like acoustically, but like how do you feel about something like this?" And they like loved it. And then that was kind of what like inspired like it as a project. They were like, "Oh, dude, could you do like a couple of more like this?" And I was like, I'm sitting here doing nothing." So yeah, I don't know. I always like to think of Can't Swim as like trying to do stuff a little bit differently. So and yeah, we have Danny singing on it. There's like keyboards, there's like strings. So I mean, I think we're most known for like being this like heavier rock band or loud rock band. So I wanted to like really go the opposite way as much as we could, and that's what it came out like.
So I'm not too clued up on like the whole like technical side of things musically, but in
Neither
very
neither am
basic
I.
terms. Okay, in that case, great. Then we're seeing kind of eye to eye. Like, can you explain to me how you produced it?
I do a lot of the writing and the demos for Can Swim, but knowing that it was going to be the final versions of them, it was a little daunting. It's like there's no cheerleader here to be like, "Hey man, you keep hitting that wrong note because A, B, and C," or like, "Hey, why don't you not sound like a nasally 16-year-old for that one line?" So there was a lot of things where I thought I'd be nailing it, and then like I take a break, go drink a coffee, come back and like listen to what I had and be like, "This is terrible. This is so bad." And then I'm the only one that can just press re-record and like do it again. So that
Yeah,
was probably the most challenging. But other than that, like I said, it only took like a week from start to finish.
yeah,
And then yeah, we Zoomed or other versions of Zoom to finish it. Like Danny's in Los Angeles, he got stuck out there. Greg and Ches are up in New Jersey. and then Michael is somewhere in Florida or something. So yeah, in 2020, it's a lot easier to collaborate virtually.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, to be honest, it might have been the least stressful Can't Swim project yet. The hard work of it all was done, in my opinion. Like songs already resonated with people, the lyrics were done. This was like covering your own music, so
Yeah.
you could just kind of have fun with like how you wanted it to be presented, and that's how it came out.
Was there anything that you were like, this is the opportunity to like rewrite or like redo anything that like maybe over the years you got kind of bored with certain things, or did you think about doing that?
It was I always envisioned that Death Deserves a Name part, that bridge to have like another vocal and then like I come in louder. So that was really cool to have Danny do that. Uh yeah, other than that, there's a key change in My Queen, which as you were saying, you don't know technical terms. It's like very Don't Stop Believing, that song, like that song, that like era of 80s had like cheesy key changes.
Like
So the
transposing where it goes like
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
final
Yeah, so
chorus, like what?
it's
Okay.
pretty hard to make those not sound like Journey. Um, but My Queen does it, and I think it actually came out pretty cool. So
I know that you've been writing new stuff, and I quote, you're talking about a poppier Radiohead sort of as a kind of approach.
news
Um,
travels fast, huh?
can you tell me more about like how that's gonna inform maybe
Yeah, so
the work?
that's what I was actually working on in LA before this happened. So I guess like this acoustic EP is gonna be like an EP before the EP. I'm not really sure exactly what the final form is gonna look like for the popular Radiohead. That might be a pretty poor. Actually, thinking about that now, that might be a pretty poor description of it.
You can
It's just
rephrase
it's
right
very
now.
yeah, it's just very electronic and it's a lot less loud drums and distorted guitars. It still sounds like Can't Swim. It's just like using different elements, and a lot of those elements are electronic and keyboards. But I'm not like singing through a robot
Auto tune?
vocoder.
No, none of
Yeah,
that.
no, I'm not doing that.
Okay.
So it still sounds like my voice, but it just has a lot more production. Um, yeah, it's really one of those things that I don't think I can talk about that much until it comes out because I think any way I word it, it's just going to be like, wow, Chris is throwing his career in the garbage. But
Can Swim is
once,
doing an electro pop album.
right,
I
like
mean,
anything
there it
sounds like
goes.
that is
Yeah.
just not good. But once people hear it, I think they'll get the correlation. It still sounds like Can't Swim. It's just, uh, who knows? I was going through a troubling time, perhaps. But I don't know. I don't know when that's going to come out. I don't know when that's going to be finalized. I did finish all of like the tracking of it in Los Angeles, so now I'm just kind of waiting on mixes. So who knows? It could be tomorrow
All
or it
right.
could be in October. I don't
Ooh.
know.
All
Yeah.
right. Okay, but so like foreign language pretty much is like parked in like
Yeah, I would say the two most different releases that we'll ever do is Foreign Language and this new one.
in the next one.
They're as far as away as the spectrum of Can't Swim could be.
Yeah, I mean, like you're saying, you're a band that does things kind of differently. Also, I noticed with like you're very progressive thinking in terms of like like what people want. Like you're on Twitch, you're doing sick merch. You had the face mask before everyone else even wore them. You got candles. How do you like come up with these ideas? Who can take credit for that kind of stuff?
I think a lot of it is my doing, the band's doing, obviously the label and management and stuff, but I think here's my thing about this.
Please elaborate.
I think a lot of artists, that's why they are called that. As if you look up the definition of artist, I'm assuming the word creative would be in there. So I think a lot of our peers or fellow musicians are super creative as well. They probably have tons of these ideas, probably far surpassing my ideas, right? But I think a lot of people get caught up in like what they should or shouldn't do more so than what they want or don't want to do. And Can't Swim has just never been really bothered with that mentality. It's like if we think it's cool, if it's inspiring and like enjoyable to do in this month of whatever year we're in, we just put it out, we just do what we got, we're not worried if it doesn't fit the aesthetic of the band or anything.
Mm.
So I think a lot of people give us credit that I think a lot of other bands are just thinking in their heads, but they're just like, oh, dude, we can't pull that off. Like, we can't do like a piano ballad. That's like so silly. People are going to think it's such a joke. We're like a heavy hardcore band. But it's like, who the hell cares? Like, it bums me out that like, whatever you call this, independent emo rock, or I don't know,
Dude, I have
whatever,
no idea.
yeah,
My
whatever.
editor wanted to know. I was like,
Yeah, whatever Can't Swim and Pure Noise is, it bums me out that like they're like the last one to get on this train of like, if you like you listen to like the mainstream of like whoever, Katy Perry or Adele or Bruno Mars or something, like that dude comes out with like a ukulele song, and then he has like a 70s like Journey song, or like Adele has like a pop Latin song, and then like a piano ballad, and all of her, or Taylor Swift even. That's like a
yeah,
great example. She's like a
yeah,
country star, then she's like rapping, then she's like yelling at certain parts, like, and the fans are like, this is great. Like, why would
yeah.
I want to listen to the same freaking song, 10 times in a row? And, I think that's kind of like the makeup of what music is becoming. But for some reason, like the punk world is very stagnant of what they, and I get it. Kids
Mm.
and their fans, seem to be, why'd you guys change your sound? You're sellouts
Of
now. And then,
course.
the dudes in the band don't want to like play in front of nobody. So they're just
Yeah.
like, all right, let's just go do what we used to do. That was going pretty good.
I mean, I don't believe in selling out because you lose either way. If you stay the same, people are going to be like, oh, they haven't changed in 20 years. And if you do change, then it's like, oh, like they're not doing that to, because
Genuinely.
yeah,
Right.
they try to just become more
Oh, yeah.
mainstream and stuff. So I don't believe in that.
My biggest thing is people pick up, even subconsciously, like just genuineness and
Yeah.
like where you want to go as an artist. And sometimes it doesn't work. Obviously, it's not Pleasantville. It's not like if Can't Swim wanted to do a jazz fusion record, there would obviously be people on our team being like, you're probably gonna throw your career away. So like obviously it's not like I do whatever I want. Like, the fans and like the people who are into our band are obviously in my mind, but if you start to cater to that too much, I really think it is like the perfect ingredient to write bad music or do art
Yeah, you
badly in
imprison
any.
yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I think every artist is aware of it, but Can't Swim, I think, is that's like the top goal of ours, is always to like reinvent or even just, it's like a challenge too. It's like, I know I'm like pretty good at yelling loud into a microphone. People seem to like when I do that, but with the acoustic songs, there's nothing to hide behind. There was no loud cymbals and distorted guitars. It's just like I literally did it in this room into this microphone.
In the closet. Oh my God.
Yeah, and it's very vulnerable. It's like you can hear when I'm breathing. So in the beginning I was like, can I do this? Like, does my voice like cater to something like this? And then you just work at it.
Mm.
I think it's very challenging to like switch it up, because you could suck, and like you're good at one thing, why don't you just keep doing that? Like, I've had that mentality a lot of times. I've been told by a lot of people, like, we like you for this thing, why would you not keep doing it? So I get both sides of the coin for sure.
being in quarantine, what is a thing that you would be like that you really miss about being on tour that you never thought you'd say that you miss that? Like something that you'd be like, I trade this.
For the current situation.
Like I said before, I'm like the worst candidate for this. Like, I love being on tour, I love traveling, I hate staying indoors. um so pretty much all of it. But yeah, I guess the drives, I guess people hate the drives, and now there's nowhere to go. And I was like, oh man, I would just love to have to overnight to Minnesota right now and be sleep deprived because yeah, I feel like a caged animal.
Dude, yeah,
It's a lot.
take that any
Yeah,
day.
I honestly I miss it all, man. Showing up to a venue and seeing how good or bad the green room is always like a gamble, which is like fun for us to always like guess.
That's my last question. What is your favorite thing on the internet right now?
Everything on the internet. Oh man. I'm trying to like get into this. You mentioned like the Twitch world.
Yeah.
So Cancer's trying to like make some like interesting content. It's tough. It's a rat race, that thing. Some people are well advanced in that and have like a great following. It's like starting Instagram from ground up or MySpace or whatever you do.
MySpace, always.
So
2006 represent.
oh, you gotta. I guess, yeah, I'm not, like I said before, horrible at being indoors. I'm not much of an internet guy. Like you were saying, I bought all these things, the webcam, the microphone. Like I don't even I actually bought a computer. Um, I'm just
Jesus.
like not that type of guy. I don't like technology, but so I don't have much of an answer for you other than Twitch. And then like before I go on Twitch, I find like 5 dumb YouTube videos. I showed a chef making a tiny little burrito for a
For a
hamster to
tiny
eat.
hamster.
It's unreal.
That's like 500 years ago, though, Chris. You
Yeah,
have to
see,
get with the
I know.
times.
Why don't you send me some shit, pal, Mr. Queen of
I,
the Internet?
yes, I am exactly that. I will happily do that. The other day I saw something. I mean, it was very late in the day. I
Yeah.
was screaming. I mean, it was past
Send it.
midnight.
Are you
I
kidding
was,
me? Are you kidding me? I need this content.
yeah, this is a cat related thing. And then the second, which I'm sure you would appreciate
Okay.
if you haven't seen it already, the like harm's way dance to
Oh
like,
my God, dude, it is unbelievable. Yeah, Danny, our guitar player, he sent one. It might have been that. I have seen that there's been a couple of different songs overdubbed.
yeah,
It might have been, man, I feel like a woman. Yeah, when he's doing that, it's
yeah. There's
top notch.
there's a whole so the frustrating thing for the band, I'm sure, is that like someone tweeted it, like the band's Facebook page has less
Okay.
likes than the page that they're
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
published on.
That happens. That happens. I'm sure there's a lot of artists that probably fall to that. And that
Uh,
dude doesn't care if anybody makes fun of him because he could just crush everybody's skull if they
that's true. Yeah, no doubt about that. What's your favorite Toy Story?
Oh wow, you have watched it. Um, yeah, I thought that was pretty clever. I don't think many people
Very
picked it
good.
up. I actually think my band actually thought that somebody in the chat said Toy Story, but I just figured it'd be funny to switch the Tor story.
They bought it though.
Toy Story 1, of course.
Okay.
What about yours?
I didn't watch them all.
Never,
So
never.
like
Have
probably
you ever watched number 1?
I I watched number one, but I don't know how many I watched, but like
Mm,
whichever ones I watched weren't like as memorable.
got it.
I'm more like like Lion King. I mean, like
Oh,
you know,
I'm not an internet guy, but have you heard this Little Dicky fellow?
who's that?
Little Dicky, he's like a rapper, but he has like a TV show now. But he has a rap song where he breaks down from beginning to end the original Lion King plot. You should, after this is done, you should watch it. It is unreal.
I am so excited. Okay,
Yeah,
that'll be
it's
my
good.
task, and your
Yeah.
task will be I'll find you
Okay.
the cat thing, but that's like
Yeah,
five
that sounds.
seconds long. Okay, dude, thank you so much for taking the time to have this little hangout. Namaste.
I hope you stay safe.
Oh,
Where in Germany are you?
I don't say namaste. I'm in Hamburg, which
Oh
I
man,
think
that's
you
like my
played.
favorite place in the whole world.
Is it?
I always
You
say that in interviews. Yeah.
Thank you for saying that. That's gonna earn
Yeah.
me some points. You played at a venue in I think February that I haven't even been to because I haven't lived here
The subway
that
or the
long.
like the train station. It's supposed to look like a train station.
Yeah, I
It's
heard.
cool. It's really cool. And what's my
Um,
favorite place in the whole world? The Big Bunker.
Übel und gefährlich, it's called.
Got it.
Yeah.
I love it there.
It's very Hamburg. It's
And
very Hamburg.
what's the soda that I always drink when I go there?
It'll
Tastes
be
like cigarettes.
Fritz Cola. Cigarettes? Why do you drink
Fritz
cigarettes?
it tastes like cigarette soda to me.
Don't
Fritz
drink
Cola,
that.
and what's the more popular one? Oh, mate or mate.
That's Berlin. That's very on brand for Berlin. Yeah.
What should I have the next time I'm in Hamburg?
Not a drink. Get a
Okay.
pastry that is called Franzbrötchen.
Oh, I've had it. It's outrageously
You've
good.
had it. Okay, but you
I've
need to like get a good one, not the ones that are like flaking, like
You
falling
don't
apart.
like the flake. You don't like the flake.
Nah, that's not no.
Oh, we got less than a minute, baby. We
We
got to
got
get going.
less than a minute. Okay, so I'm so happy that you're the perfect Hamburg tourist.
I love Hamburg. I'm not joking. And I'm not saying this because you're only on the Zoom call. It's one of my favorite places in the world.
I'm so pleased. Messed Up Magazine are gonna love that. Okay, before either of us gets cut off, thanks,
Okay.
Chris, for hanging out.
Thanks for having me.
Anything else you want to plug? You got 2 seconds left or so? No? Okay, everyone get When the Dust Settles. Peace out. Thanks again.
Peace out.
And stay safe.
Yeah, you as well.
Okay, I'll send you the meme soon.
Please. See ya.
Bye.